Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 15, entitled Try. This is the fourth in the series of Dale episodes,
Yeah.
Dale titled.
The Dale quote.
Yeah, they got the character Dale in the writer's room said, what should we call these? I don't know, remember, forget, try, something. What did I say in Season 2?
They had to go with the watch quote. It's either Dale from Season 1...
Mm-hmm.
Or
about the watch in his ass,
or I was going to say, or Pulp Fiction with Christopher Walken. And then we'd have.
They chose the right one.
We'd have titles like Uncomfortable, Hunk, Ass. Hard to argue with what we ended up with.
Indeed. Who made this episode?
It's directed by a guy named Michael E. Satrazemis, who has directed a couple episodes of Walking Dead. But he got his filmmaking start being the cameraman for movies such as Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
And The Crow. So the extremes of human cinema there, and is written by Angela Kang, who's written several episodes of The Terriers and several episodes of Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And I thought. There's a couple rough things that we talked about on the instant cast, and some of those don't bother me as much on second viewings, and some of them are still bothering me. Mm-hmm. But I thought the episode looked great, and the action was well filmed. And I especially like a couple of some of the really dramatic moments, like with Glenn confessing to Rick, how they use light and shadow with him and Dickless.
Yeah, Glenn confronting Nicholas. I really like that scene.
Sure.
There are quite a few scenes in here that I like. What did you think of the soundtrack, especially as it relates to the beginning?
Man,
Did it work for you? Did you see the tears coming out of Reg's eyes? Are those pain or over losing his son or over the soundtrack?
Well, I just thought it's funny that the CD player was flashing, no more. I thought Aiden was gone. No more of this. No, I don't know. I actually liked the song and how it fit with the action and the lyrical content, but I don't like how real world it was centered. Like I didn't need them to have this douchebag music. Well, I mean, not 9 Inch Nails is douchebag music. But Aiden is a douchebag. This was his music.
Yes.
His mom and dad and brother playing that to play homage to him. I thought this whole scene was too operatic. Like her burning the note and...
Yeah, the song just doesn't feel like casserole baking music. Like candlelight... Like, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to listen to the music that her son listens to, but come on.
Yeah.
They're going to hear 2 notes of that and shut it off. We can remember him without this.
Sure. If we had just the music without them starting to CD and...
There is no parent in the history of parenting who has said, you know what, I want to reminisce about my children by listening to the music they listened to when they were teenagers.
I bet that's not true.
Oh, that's totally
I
true,
bet that's
man.
not true.
Totally true.
But I do
They look at pictures. They look at photo albums. They don't... They don't play the shitty music they listen to as kids.
Yeah. I do think it was overblown, and I wish they'd gotten rid of those aspects of it. Are we actually doing the recap now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one. Casserole baking.
What I want to say as a public service announcement is that the finale, in case you're watching on DVR, zap through the commercials, is going to be 90 minutes long.
Okay.
So most DVRs nowadays automatically adjust for stuff like that, but you might want to check and make sure and just kind of plan on that.
Yeah.
So probably, as many people speculate, more like 60 minutes of show, 30 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
But still,
sounds about right.
It's going to at least have another 10, 15 minutes of content extra.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff happening in this scene. Sasha's in the tower shooting. She sees nothing to shoot, but she finally shoots a single walker.
Sure.
And there's casserole on the porch. Deanna takes the note, leaves the casserole, and burns the note.
Sure.
And then we go over to Daryl and Aaron, who are out scouting, and they spot a walker and a light in the distance. Somebody's out there. Somebody who is not, I presume, the Alexandrians.
What do you think of Aaron's pronouncement? There's more zombies around here than there used to be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, all the W's we see of on the walker heads, they could be So my speculation is that these W's, these wolves,
mm-hmm.
are the Alexandrians that she exiled.
Okay.
Deanna exiled. So I wonder if they're trying to lure a bunch of walkers in toward Alexandria.
It could be, because I that's what I mean, obviously, I think you're right. I think I subscribe to the wolves are the outcasts, and, dovetails with what Rick's trying to tell her in this episode, which is exile people, you're just creating more enemies for yourself outside the gate with knowledge of how things are inside the gate. But I don't know. I'm trying to think how this chopping up strapping people to trees to scream and attract walkers, that makes sense. But what is the dismembering and running around of torsos and heads? How is that going to be useful?
I don't know.
And if it is useful, why would they leave a whole truck full of them stuffed in the middle of a forest somewhere?
Well, they might have got overrun and had to abandon that. That's what I assumed, but...
Huh. Yeah, I don't... And keeping in mind that was such a huge... That was like 100 miles away from Alexandria.
Yeah.
So that's the other problem I have with these are outcasts of Alexandria theory, is like they got exiled and they just took over 100 square miles or 100 circular miles of Virginia, and they're not like, if they control that much territory, then why aren't they fucking with the Alexandrians?
I think they are. I think they're starting to. We don't know when they were exiled.
Yeah.
It could have happened like not very long before they got to Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
So that these guys went out there, got to Richmond just slightly before they did, and then took off for some reason. But I don't know. There's so little information to go on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It does feel like they ransacked Virginia, so maybe they've been gathering supplies and strength or something. But
maybe.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what nature of threat these wolves guys are. Are they just Joe-type renegades? Are they like mentally disturbed people? Why did Deanna kick them out?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So are they going to see themselves like as Rick? Like, we are coming back to take this town because we don't want it seen destroyed? Or are they going to be like... Although I feel like righteous people don't carve W's on corpses' heads and tie innocent women to trees.
Probably not.
Have their guts ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be interesting.
Questions about them.
I'm building up this scenario in my head for the finale where now that Rick is kind of on the outs, well, way on the outs with Deanna, she's going to try to decide what to do with him, and just as she's going to make her decision on that, these wolves are going to come rolling in, and Rick's going to be the only thing to save them. Thereby justifying his presence there and his attitude toward survival. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Anyway, Nicholas and Glenn are interviewed about their botched mission. Glenn is talking with Rick, and Nicholas is talking with Deanna and being taped.
You're mispronouncing Dickolas, first of all. And this guy's acting method is essentially, I smell a really bad fart, but I'm too polite to say anything about it, but I'm just passive-aggressive enough to mug and make faces and make sure everyone knows how offended and unpleasant it is. Deanna is this expert poker player that can read people. That's her mutant, that's her special power. And just seeing her with her fingers steepled over, just staring at this screen, I'm like, lady, if you fucking can't suss out this situation, my theory is, which kind of goes nice with you, is she's decided that actually she likes all the other Rick people. She thinks Rick's the problem.
You could be right.
Like, he's the bad seed, but I think she buys Glenn. I think she accepts his, that's the whole steepled fingers, her, because he says, this guy says, like, you don't know what I've seen, or you don't know what's like that there. And she says, I see a great deal. If they have her say that and she buys his story over Glenn's, it's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just dumb. I'm with you.
So I think that's the whole going to be driving the force to, like, this isn't a taint that fits everybody in Rick's group. It's just Rick. Yeah. Also, I have a theory based on a preview for next week, so I probably need to put that in the spoiler section, don't I?
Probably, yeah.
Damn it.
And I know where you're going with that. The other thing that kind of supports that theory is the way that Michonne takes out Rick. It feels to me like the group is also kind of, seeing him covered in a man's blood, waving a gun around and screaming is not doing much for the rest of this group.
Yeah, especially since we see just how this episode does a really good job of showing just how stupid this group is.
Sure, yeah.
Because the other thing is I want to point out that I didn't notice in the first watch is Deanna specifically in this cold open forbids anyone from leaving the walls and having a gun. Yet apparently Sasha can get out with a gun. Michonne and Rosita can get out with guns.
And Enid and Carl.
Enid and Carl can get out with guns. Fucking Dickolas can get out and get a gun. Like, her decree means nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Even amongst her own people, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Nicholas doesn't care. Nicholas has been warned with the threat of death, or probably a severe beating, not to go outside the walls, and he still does it.
The goddamn teenagers don't listen, and you can control them by grounding them. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think part of that's got to be deliberate, though, right? I mean, I'm not saying that that's like a plot hole mechanic. It's just, maybe they're going too far in convincing us how. This has kind of been my complaint. Like, why do they have to be so bad? Why do they have to be laughably bad?
Sure. We'll get to more about that when Rick and Deanna kind of square off at her son's grave. So I think that's the next scene, isn't it?
What's that?
No, it's not.
Rick and Glenn are kind of doing talking. Debriefing,
yeah, they're saying basically we should play by our own rules here.
Except for Glenn, I feel like Rick is the only one saying this now. Well, and Carol.
And Glenn says he wants to make it work. We are them, they are us. We are now a lot. I don't like the way that those lines are written, honestly.
Wait, do you? Well, I mean,
it's the same as the party.
We're getting really tired of these monologues about life and now and what I'm feeling, and when it's pretty obvious to suss out what you're feeling by watching you. So shut up. I think Rick is the only one still on the them, us versus them side. Even Carol
seems like it.
I think even Carol being involved with this Jesse situation has swayed her to their side. Although I don't know, maybe she still would be. I don't think she's on Glenn's side either. I think she's probably closer to Rick, but heading away from him.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a red balloon tied to a boat in the water here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of the red balloon? We see it a few times this episode. Once in this scene where it's just kind of sitting there in the dark. Another time a kid walks by with it.
We had 98
and
more.
And then another time it's let loose.
We'd have a new wave German synth pop hit on our hands.
We would, yeah.
There's clearly symbolic, and it tied to Rick's kind of craziness.
Yeah,
whatever you want to call that.
Yeah,
he's literally seeing red. I mean, it's pretty Bacon Gauntlet-y, shooting right on the nose for me.
Yeah, it was almost like it's his civility or his hope for civility, like because by the end of the episode, it's floating released into the air and just gone. When he's waving his gun and screaming with blood on his face, it just floats off. So like maybe those are his chances at remaining in this civilization.
Or if it's his animal impulses, it's the one he finally lets him off the hook.
I don't buy that is the moment where Rick says, "You know what? Maybe I am wrong about this."
No, I'm saying he's kept the animal on the cage.
He's kept it at bay, and now he's
because he's in he's squeezing his gun and being like, "Keep walking," and this and that.
And it's telling that this balloon belongs to the people of the town, and there's a kid shown carrying it around. It's definitely not good that balloon gets released.
No, it's the 21st century version of open a can of whoop ass.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna let my red balloon go. You keep pushing. You keep pushing.
It's an old German folk saying. Sam and Jesse are talking while Carol watches. And I guess Rick watches also. Sam seems very unhappy. He runs off at some point. Carol tells Rick what Sam has told him about all the beatings and the lock on the closet and a whole bunch of bad stuff.
Meanwhile, they're just both staring at her from 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Like, don't turn around. We're staring at you. Just being normal.
Yep. She's got a casserole in her hand. No, she doesn't. And then she asks him what he's going to do about Pete. And Rick stares at the red balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Then right after that, Pete comes up behind Rick and tries to say hi while he's kind of battling with his inner demons here.
Yeah.
He's got a gun in his hand. He's looking at this red balloon. He's freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
He's stewing.
Yeah, no. And Andrew Lincoln does really quality work here. Yeah. Remind me a lot of a young Dennis Hopper and kind of
what I thought Pete did.
No, I'm
Pete looks kind of like
Pete looks like a young Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, of course.
But only at night when he's sitting on the front porch. All other times he kind of looks Petey. I don't know. I thought he does a really good, intense, like an intelligent ferocity.
Yeah,
is how I'd like to.
No, I think Andrew Lincoln has done great work on the show. A lot of the time. There's speaking of him sitting on the porch. There's a line that Carol delivers where she's talking about Pete.
I want to talk about this too.
Where he beats his family and then goes out on the porch. That sheds an entirely new light on that first meeting of Pete, where Rick is walking by at night and he's out there drinking. I guess some domestic abuse had just gone down.
And it could have been the exact time that she was talking about.
Yeah, she said it was like a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe.
This feels, maybe I don't know how long they've been there.
I can't really tell.
I can't either, because there's a pretty big jump between the first patrol Aiden and Glenn went on and the second one, because they had enough time to kind of calm down and get some shit worked out. The other thing I wanted to draw attention to with the Carol conversation is she mentions, if Walkers hadn't got Ed, I wouldn't be standing here.
Yeah.
And then Rick says, yeah, you would. The clear implication being Rick wouldn't have allowed that shit to go on.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind for later on in the episode.
All right. Michonne wakes up to a pile of laundry and starts to put on her uniform when Rosita comes in and says Sasha is off the reservation, and they head out to find her.
Because she slept in the tower, shooting zombies all night, like her job.
I guess so, yeah. They just kind of go out in the woods here. We get a scene in between their tracking of Sasha where Deanna is at her son's grave, and Rick walks up and they kind of debate the merits of capital punishment and what else you can do and why that's right or wrong. Deanna's not for it at all. Rick is. And that sets up a fundamental disagreement between them for the rest of this episode.
Yeah. We talked about a lot of this on the Instant Cast. This is some good material. I like the whole, what do you do with what do you do when you have a vital person in your civilization who is completely unacceptable for some reason or another?
Sure.
Because he hurts people or whatever, or has a substance abuse problem, whatever.
I think so. I kind of buy both of their arguments here. It's there is a debate, and I don't think the answer is clear, where Rick is saying, look, if we exile this guy, he might just come back stronger than ever, and if we're lucky, he comes back and we shoot him at the gate.
Right.
If we're lucky. Now, I've seen guys bring tanks back.
Sure.
Demolish the structure we're in, and we had to flee for our lives.
Yeah.
So Rick knows a thing or two about that. Now, Deanna's argument...
Which Deanna's got to know that he knows that, because she's got all this shit on video. I mean...
What shit on video?
The fact that a guy came with a tank and all that stuff. Like, presumably, or else that was the shittiest interrogation I've ever seen.
Sure.
I'm just trying to think, like, she seems so smug and secure in her understanding of the way things are. Like, I don't know why she just feels like she has to shut Rick down and not even consider this.
So, I agree with you mostly. I think that's weird and kind of silly of her. But at the same time, Alexandria is still around. Alexandria is standing as a shining beacon of this is how it could be, and it's not fucked up yet.
Yeah, but
it's not fucked up yet. Rick, you showed up and we took you in. Don't tell us that we haven't been able to survive, and much easier than you have. You've been on the run for 2 years. We've been sitting in a solar-powered castle.
Well, I mean, forgive me for quoting our own skit, but what is the worst thing that's pulled out of Alexandria? What was it, a tank?
That's my point, though, right? Like, that hasn't happened to them.
But I'm saying Deanna's too smart to not say, yes, we have survived, but man, we've never had a tank come fucking pull up to our gates.
Sure.
We've never had encountered a city full of cannibals that were luring people in like.
But Rick says it's
prey.
inevitable. It absolutely has to happen, but it hasn't happened to Alexandria.
That's such a fucking gambler's paradox.
She's a poker player, man.
Oh, Jesus.
she'll
right.
take that bet all day.
It's internally
She's
consistent.
Pushed her chips in behind the cold rolled steel. She's good to go.
It's internally consistent bullshit, but it is internally consistent. God damn it, they got me.
Yep.
What do you think? They got cold rolled steel walls, but carved bullshit tombstones for their fallen heroes.
Just these old ass wooden planks. They deconstructed park benches.
Jesse can't make him a junk metal owl or something, a junk metal angel.
Apparently she can't. That thing just keeps crumbling.
Well, that's because of Sam,
and Rick. Yeah.
Between Sam and Rick, she just can't get an owl together.
Sure. No, you're right. Those are weird gravestones, grave markers. Rosita and Michonne track Sasha by the trail of dead walkers. Not a lot goes on here. I think it was before this happened where they had their conversation about how Rosita was affected by all this shit that's gone down, and Michonne was kind of affected by getting to this safe place. And we never saw that from Rosita. We never saw her crumble under the weight of hearing Eugene's story was a lie.
Yeah.
We never saw that.
Yeah, she was scared that Abraham was going to hit her, which she will later deny. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
if this had been Abraham giving this speech, sure.
These conversations seem stupid to me. And it seems to go over territory that we've been treading for a long time. And stuff that we don't really need to be so... Michonne has said for the millionth time she was going crazy out there. She needs to get in. We can see from her excellent performance by Denai Guerrera that she is uncomfortable here. We can guess why those reasons are. Mm-hmm. We can know that when they go outside that now they don't feel at ease in this world either. It's like, why do we need a 3-minute scene where they just talk about these things?
Or have her talk with someone who we saw affected by it. Abraham. Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that would
be
economical
We saw Abraham
too.
Crushed by this.
But it suffers from the problem is we've already seen way too much of Michonne. We haven't seen anything of Rosita, and now they have to commiserate as if Rosita... Yeah. We've seen all this development go on with Rosita, and then the stuff that Michonne is saying is tedious.
Sure. Outside the wall... Oh, wait. I know you want to talk about the bleeding walkers.
I mean, that's just too nitpicky. Really. Yeah, but no, I would think that a walker shot in the dead of night, or maybe I guess that was more recent.
They say it's recent, yeah.
At first, I thought that these were the walkers that she shot from the tower, and they're still bleeding. I'm like, there's how much fucking blood is there in a walker head?
I don't even think walkers bleed. I think all their blood is coagulated. But this show doesn't do that.
Yeah,
they make zombies explode into gore.
Every zombie swallow like a bottle of aspirin to thin their blood before they get turned.
I guess so. And somehow that gets in the bloodline and gets pumped by a heart that doesn't work. Sure.
Maybe they committed suicide by taking a whole bottle of aspirin. Like, it's a startling percentage. Like 90% of walkers are,
and then they don't metabolize any of that out. So it's...
yeah, it just stays in there forever.
Yeah. Outside the wall, Carl is sneaking around in the woods. He is spotted by Enid, and they run through the woods in slow motion. They come across a walker, and they throw an egg timer at it.
Can we talk about Carl's hat?
Okay. What about it?
This thing is like an 1840s prospector hat on the way to becoming the sorting hat from Harry Potter.
It's getting droopier, yeah.
What has he been doing? Has he been using it for a pillow at night?
He lives a hard life, man. Probably.
Did he lose his left shoe for a couple of months and have to wear that as a shoe? That hat has seen better days.
It's turning into a bag.
Project forward three seasons from now. Mm-hmm. What does this hat look like?
He's wearing it as a robe, I think.
I think it's going to look like a burlap sack with those gold tassel things holding it onto his head.
Right. Look like Lawrence of Arabia.
His head will be dressed like a Franciscan monk, essentially, at that point.
Sure. Glenn, what do you think of this scene? This is just kids being kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're fucking around with running zombies, free. Sure.
So I get what she says later on. Let's just save it for later.
Yeah.
Anyway, Glenn tells Nicholas that the lives he lost are all on him, and that he's never allowed outside the walls again in a really spectacular scene.
Yeah.
I'm digging what Glenn's putting down.
Yeah.
These last few episodes.
Like, he just was so stone cold. And every time Nicholas tried to, come back with a retort, he had to shut down for it.
Yeah.
I've been protecting. It's like, no. And then, like, are you threatening me? No, I'm saving you, actually.
Yeah. You're too
awesome.
incompetent to go outside the walls.
It's awesome. People like you should have been dead already.
Yeah.
Which, you could say that about everyone in Alexandria, essentially.
Yeah. I don't think Reg survives very long without his cold rolled steel.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carl and Enid are sitting by a tree, and they're talking about all the things that they have in common, and they are interrupted by a pack of walkers who chase them into a tree where Carl and Enid get close. Carl touches Enid's hand and goes, "Ooh, that was nice."
Yep.
There's a conversation here that seems to make a lot of sense to me, with these teenagers being stuck in this city, which is a lot like a prison. She's saying, this is how we should be. We should be out in the woods running free. We shouldn't be inside this city where she essentially feels like a hostage. I get from their conversation.
Kind of an adrenaline junkie too.
Yeah.
Like, she genuinely enjoys the feeling of being alive that you get when you run from walkers and are hiding out and on the run. And clearly some of this stems from however she lost her mother. I mean, they're setting up a lot of kinship here, which Carl was keen to explore, and she didn't really care much to.
Maybe she also shot her mother? How about that?
Well, I was thinking that with that knife,
that
maybe she did have to, if not kill her mother, then to, what do you call it, re-kill?
Put her down.
Put her out of her zombie misery, put her down. I feel like that's going to be significant between those two. And honestly, I was primed to hate this plot, but so far I thought it was really well written and
it feels like teenagers.
It does. Yeah. It does. It feels like two misfits, even in a world of misfits. It's the first time probably they're both feeling this way, because this is kind of age appropriate romance too. No, it's nice. I'm glad they're giving something for Chandler Riggs to do that, the stuff he did with Rick he's a little too old for. That was, so impactful in the comics. I think this is pitched just right for him, and he's knocking it out of the park. So good on him. Good on him and a Too Many Cooks girl.
Yep, we see W's on a bunch of walkers' heads here. They do a real tight zoom in on one, just to make sure we saw all of the W's throughout the preceding episodes.
Sure.
Nicholas then goes outside the wall.
Oh, can I ask you one other thing about Enid?
Yeah.
When she said, "Cool, you're afraid of me too," was that a rueful statement, or was that like a genuinely amused statement?
I thought it was just more of like a, do we have some more in common?
Okay, I thought so.
I don't really know,
because I don't think Carl's really afraid of her, at least not in the way that she perceives the other children are afraid of her.
Okay.
Her being this quiet and bitchy and different. That's what I was thinking too. But the second time when I heard it, I thought I might have gotten a little bit of her being, like I said, rueful about it. Like, oh, I thought we had something in common, and maybe you're too afraid of me.
No, I thought she liked it.
Okay.
She was glad for that.
Cool.
So Nicholas, outside the wall, he has a gun stashed by a tree with a J on the handle.
Pulls out his J gun.
This is, in fact, the blender gun.
Okay.
They both had J's on the handle. What do you think about Nicholas being the one who took that blender gun?
I don't buy it.
I don't either.
It's stupid. Like, he was watching Rick. He snuck up with where Rick was at without him being aware of it. This guy, or this guy so thoroughly searched this shack that is within a stone's throw of Alexander. He's probably passed 1 million times that he found it. No, I mean, they probably will have like they could do a cold open flashback that would make all this make sense. Or perhaps because he was on kind of gate duty, I could also foresee a situation where Enid was the one who was spying on him. She got the gun. She tried to bring it in, and he shook her down.
Okay,
as kind of like, you naughty girl, and then hid it himself because he's dickless, and that's kind of shit he'd do.
That would be better.
Yeah, but they can't not explain it, because Dickless is a fucking idiot, and I don't believe he'd get the drop on Rick, find the stash, and then not confront him about it the first sign that there was some trouble. Like, the time to get this gun is like, look what this gun. Look, they tried to hide this gun, Deanna. This is something you can do for someone you can trust. I mean, nah, man, no. I don't.
Sure,
not buying a bit of it. It's got to be something more to it.
Yeah. Regardless, it happened. Sasha is shooting walkers when Michonne and Rosita find her, and then they stumble upon not even stumble upon. I mean, Sasha has been looking for a larger pack of walkers to kill. And they all go into action, taking him out. Sasha almost getting eaten in the process. And then she gets up and she's like, yeah, you haven't lost anything. I've lost everything. How do you think that makes me feel? Sasha doesn't know Michonne's backstory, does she?
She's got to.
I would think so.
There's no fucking way.
But if she knows the backstory, she doesn't say that to Michonne.
I mean, the only thing that partially saves this is Michonne is famously private.
Uh-huh.
So, like, yeah, she's told Rick and maybe Carl. I can't actually remember who all she's told. Mm-hmm. But maybe she hasn't told Sasha. But I don't know if it's effective even knowing that. Or what I'm trying to say is, do I give the writers enough credit to remember Michonne's back history and her backstory, so Michonne not throwing it back into her face or Sasha being ignorant of it? I'm trying to make sense of.
Yeah, it felt like.
Is it because the writers forgot Michonne's backstory, or because the writers are showing remarkable restraint on Michonne's behalf?
I think that's got to be it. I can't imagine that you forget a character's origins like that when you do a full episode on it.
It seems like Michonne would come right back with like, oh, I haven't lost anything. How about my lover? How about our best friend? How about my infant son?
Yeah.
How about my zombie apocalypse best friend, Andrea? I mean...
Yeah, she's lost a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And Sasha is just angry about life at the moment.
Michonne recognizes the kind of crazy that Sasha's going through too.
She does, yeah. Those flashbacks with her, kicking ass with her sword were really cool.
Yeah,
I liked seeing that part of Michonne, even just in flashback. I don't want her to go back to that necessarily, but
The Walking Dead for 60 seconds became a clip show.
Yeah,
old school clip show.
And then, so I don't know how much of that is her realizing, okay, this is what Sasha is feeling right now.
Yeah.
And maybe sympathizing a bit with her. And so when she says, I've lost so many people, you haven't lost shit, she goes, all right, maybe I don't want to rub this in her face right now. I'm going to show a little restraint.
And she says, I don't need your help, which is false. I mean, she would have been fucked if those hadn't gone on. But at the end of the month, she went off, and I think the women chose to follow her.
Uh-huh.
So, I feel like it's Michonne trying to just really take this easy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think you need my help, but I don't think you're going to, shoot me. So I'm going to follow you and help you out and show that we care about you and we're here for you.
Yeah, and I don't know that confronting her with harsh reality at that moment is going to do any good.
Right.
So
yeah, I didn't mind that this scene didn't bug me as much on second rewatch. The scene between Rosita and Michonne still sticks up my craw. But this one is fine if I kind of dig and see what I think Michonne's trying to do here.
Yeah, so part of that scene with Rosita and Michonne, I feel, is there to reinforce this scene when you get the flashbacks. It's like, yeah, Michonne understands what Sasha's going through, but also she wants to keep that sword on her back, right? Rosita's first time out back in these woods, since they got to Alexandria, was in this episode. And she's saying, oh, I feel like I've lost something. Michonne's like, no, I don't want to lose that. Yeah. That sword needs to stay on my back, even if it's not literally on my back.
No, I mean,
I felt like that was part of those flashbacks with that that instinct kicking back in.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying.
Reinforces. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's why it's there.
No, I get it. I'm just like, I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Like, of course she would want to keep her killer edge because you live in the fucking zombie apocalypse. And you're also the town's security force.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Rick's got enough edge for the whole...
You are not... That's the thing. There's so many... People are taking behaviors that I consider normal for this environment and labeling them as crazy or obsessive or whatever. And I just think that it's what you do to survive. It's whether you use your powers for good or evil that makes you a crazy person or not. And being out there with no shelter at all will make you crazy. But yeah, like I said, I just all this post-apocalyptic navel gazing, there's only so many ways you can do it, and they've done it every fucking way in every combination at this point.
Yeah, it's starting to become a little too much.
And we can just see it. Like, these are very good actors and actresses. We don't need so much of explaining of what they're doing with their acting.
Yeah. Daryl and Aaron come across some dismembered limbs and the set of True Detective.
They found Carcosa.
A woman tied to a tree with her guts ripped out by walkers. Daryl grabs her hair and she reanimates, so he kills her. Mm-hmm. Big old fat W on her forehead.
Yep.
Because it wasn't enough to zoom in on the walkers' foreheads. It was also necessary to show this one.
Or an upside down M for Morgan.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because Morgan hoisted himself up in a tree by his ankles and carved it upside down.
Yeah, not buying the upside down M. Not one bit. Sorry, people.
Now, last week we had a person emailed us in and said that Aiden was a greater fulfillment of the Carol's prophecy on Sam about tying to a tree and being all alone and screaming and no one to help you and have your guts torn out.
No, it was? How about this then?
Well, I think it's interesting that Carol described in vivid detail the kind of tactics that clearly this evil force outside is using. And I don't know that Carol wouldn't do that.
To Sam or just to someone?
To someone, or maybe to... I don't know. I mean, she threatened it.
I don't buy that she would have done that to Sam over the chocolate stuff, but...
It's significant, though, that what came out of her mind was exactly the same thing that's going on with this big bad force. And I wonder if... we talked about Carol.
The one who was exiled.
Remember last season we had all the smoke, and at the end of all these things, because they had the black smoke, white smoke, and it all heralded different transformations in her character. Her talking about her character transforming. I got this theory that at the end of that episode, you'll recall we saw another set of black smoke, but we didn't actually get to see her transform in anything.
Sure.
Is it possible that Carol could transform into a full-blown baddie that has to be not exiled like Rick did? Like Rick did the Deanna thing, which is another interesting thing that makes me think these things are connected.
I don't think
he's saying you got to kill people now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell Carol could do that would be... Because I think she'd do it in defense of this group, but so heinous she'd have to be killed for. But I kind of think that's what's going to happen.
I don't think it's impossible.
It just seems like a lot of tracks are being laid in that direction.
Yeah, no, I think that's super interesting that she described that scene. And can we talk... I know this show does a lot of disturbing, grisly things. It seems like at some point we get desensitized from it, and we don't even talk about how disturbing a scene actually is.
No,
right?
yeah.
I mean, this is a fucked up scene.
This is some Jack the Ripper shit.
Yeah. I mean, after a while, when you see enough heads explode, you're like, I don't know. That's not so tough.
Yeah, especially when it's zombies. Who cares?
Yeah, but this is pretty dark. The woman was presumably tied to a tree alive,
completely naked, vulnerable, exposed, and these zombies
walkers walked up.
I mean, I get chills thinking about the scenario more than I do the actual reality of her body there.
We should take the audio from Carol talking to Sam and lay it over the top of that scene.
Oh, ooh,
right?
Yeah,
that'd be creepy.
That is creepy. So scary story
with some 9 Inch Nails in the background.
Really,
I'm totally gonna do that.
But you can put that on AMC. Still can't say fuck.
No, you cannot.
You can mutilate a naked woman's corpse and rip her reproductive organs out. Can't say fuck.
Nope. Jesse's smoking in the garage when Rick comes up and tries to convince her to let him wreck Pete. Let him go to town on Pete.
Yeah.
And she says, I'll take care of myself. We have to take care of ourselves. I don't know. Some of these scenes, man.
Yeah, because
like Jessie doesn't. So aside from this one scene where she's crying in her garage, she doesn't act and definitely doesn't look abused. Like there are for a man who apparently viciously beats his
knocked her
family,
unconscious, left her bleeding
a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's fine. She has no bruises on her anywhere that we've seen. It doesn't look like they're doing a good job with the makeup here.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess what is the more interesting? That's bullshit. But I'm trying to put myself in the writer's position here and say I feel like I should get some kind of fucking medal for this. But what is the more interesting entry point into this storyline? Oh my god, is that a bruise? Oh, I walked into the door. That we've seen a million times in movies and TVs.
But you know why you've seen it a million times? Because that's how it usually happens.
Sure. Or is it interesting to think that maybe he's smart enough to because you could do some damage with kidney punches and blows to the abdomen and stuff like that.
Kidney punches. You don't leave someone bleeding on the floor unconscious with
spitting
kidney
out
punches.
blood or pissing blood. But
well, yeah, it's spitting.
But what's a more interesting point? The Carol's dawning realization through interfacing with the kid, or them seeing the obvious bruises and welts?
The kid. Obviously Carol and the kid.
So I kind of will overlook the logical implausibility of the no marks if they're trying to do something that I think, in fact, was more interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I don't know if the people like call me a fucking hypocrite while they're listening to that, but I guess that's like trying to do something that's more interesting, and it actually turned out to be more interesting, is more forgivable than trying to do something interesting and making something shitty. Like the result, the end sometimes justifies the means.
Oh boy. Okay, now you're sliding down the Rick scale here.
Now, I'm trying to think if there's a way they could combine the two. Like maybe she has a really nasty scrape on her arm. It's not like the split lip or black eye you always see.
If she was like a scout or something and not a teacher, like she could pass those marks off as just combat bruises, like I go in the fucking woods and I dodge and I dodge, I dip, I duck, I dive, I dodge,
That would have been really interesting if she'd have been one of the scouts.
Yeah,
the
bruises are perfectly explainable, except they're not what you think they are.
And then they find out because Sam still knows the truth about what goes on at behind closed doors. That would be a better thing. That would be something you think a room full of writers
top of my head here
could have knocked off Jimmy John's a half hour early and fixed for us.
Yeah. Anyway, she doesn't want him to do anything here, and then he goes outside. He sees the townspeople being helpless. He sees a security guard reading a book.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, do you know in the original Batman movie, Adam West, where he's got that ridiculous bomb at the end?
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to get rid of it, and it's like he goes to throw it down an alley, and there's like nuns walking down. There's a baby in a stroller. He tries to throw it in a river, and there's like a bunch of baby ducks go by. I felt like that was this version. Like everything he saw was more and more ridiculous. Like, there's a kid playing. Oh my God, I can't believe there's this kid's running the street. And then it's like, there's a person talking to old people. Old people should be dead. This is the zombie apocalypse. Look at Herschel. And then he sees the watch person reading with her back to the gate.
Yep. It's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But kind of hilarious too.
Kind of hilarious because these people they're not competent. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
No wonder they can't keep teenagers in because these are the people they got looking out.
Mm-hmm.
They're reading 50 Shades of Grey instead of looking to see where the teenagers are.
Yep. And so this prompts him. He's like, you know what? These people are too dumb to live here. So he goes back inside to Jesse's house and he reconfronts her about this and says, I will help you if you just say yes. And he lies to her. And so she does. And then Pete has the worst timing in the world.
Or the best timing.
Walks into that scenario, and Rick, I want to say beats him senseless, but he kind of gets his ass beat for a second.
Yeah, and there's obviously people have a problem with that.
He throws him out a window. So
I'm thinking, do you have drunk? Because we're talking about in a bar fight, do you got wiry old man strength or drunken idiot strength?
Drunken idiot can't feel any pain. He doesn't care if he got thrown through a window and is bleeding out.
Sure.
He's going to still fight you.
But on the other hand, Rick's been surviving with his wits in his fists for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And he's been living on dog food and dog meat.
Pete's got a good 4 inches on this guy.
He's got a little bit of reach.
And he's hunched, too. He hunches down. So, even when he hunches, he's taller than Rick.
Huh.
He's a big guy, but I still take Rick. I think Rick has been living a much harder life than Pete.
Do you think that...
And that would serve him well in a fight.
Yeah, I think that Rick was also holding back through the first half of the fight where he was getting most of his licks in, Pete was. Because, he could have gone right to the throat rip.
Or the nose bite, yeah.
Or gone after his tenders. None of that happened. Yeah. Instead, he was kind of like saying, I am a person trying very hard not to kill you. And it was about, when he got thrown through the window, that's about when Rick had enough. And other than, I think, Pete getting on top of him once, it was pretty much all over.
Well, Pete's the one who goes through the window.
Yeah, well, Rick was on, he preceded Rick by about 1.5 feet, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then Rick goes outside and just chokes him out.
Can we, before we go on this, I want to bring up a point that I thought was startling that Janet A. and several other people, but she was the first. She goes, I get the moral dilemma of allowing abuser to stay because of his usefulness as a surgeon. What I don't get is they seemingly make no attempt to mitigate his bad behavior. In a town that locks up and rations chocolate bars, it never crossed their minds to lock up the liquor. I'm not saying his drinking is 100% responsible for his beatings, but I'm sure it greases the wheels a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed this until I read this email, but goddamn.
That is an amazing
They
point.
lock up candy bars, but Pete can get soused drunk in the middle of the fucking afternoon every goddamn day, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unexplainable.
It's like, there's a middle ground between hoping things get better and exile/death. There is
preventative measures.
Not giving him booze. There is prison. There's a lot of things that you could talk about with society. It's not.
The show is very black or white.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's a mistake to make him be I kind of think it's a mistake to make him drunk, like he's an alcoholic, because that also takes away his abilities as a surgeon and a doctor as well.
Sure. Yeah,
and also you don't need. I think it's a trope to assume that men need to get all liquored up to beat women. Some people are just fucking rageophiles, and that's what they do.
That's the thing. He comes out of the back room. He's apparently been working on Tara, but he is blind drunk.
That's what I'm saying. In the middle of the afternoon, when he's essentially doing his duties all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. That guy's bad news, top to bottom.
I think that's what's interesting is as Rick was trying to tell him that. That's one of the reasons I thought Rick was kind of off-put by him drunkenly stumbling over in the afternoon, because he's like, there's only 2 sheriffs in here. I'm always on duty. I can't be drinking. And you are our only surgeon, motherfucker. If my kid gets shot or whatever, I don't want your hand shaking and your eyes blurry.
Yeah.
So that explains a lot of their weird nervous energy, other than the fact that also Rick wants to fuck Jesse.
It seems like the only thing that isn't rationed here is power and booze.
Power, booze, bullets.
Well, the guns are locked up. I assume the ammunition is locked up and given out only to proper people. And
but Sasha's going out and spending 100 rounds a day. You don't think?
Someone's got to notice that. You need how many clips?
Yeah.
How many magazines?
We're out of chocolate, but we got just crates and crates and crates of bullets.
Yeah,
just buckets of old Soviet era ammunition.
We got a mortar. Drums. You want that? I don't know. Anyway, Rick goes outside.
That's what's like, man. I wonder when a United States of America would run out of bullets in this situation, because I've seen on survivalist forums and guns forums where people literally buy 50-gallon drums of ammunition and like keep them in their compounds and in their property. That's not the average person. I'm saying like just in the civilian population, there's so many fucking guns and bullets.
They're making bullets out of cold rolled steel now. Reg is in the back with the bullet maker, putting the gunpowder in.
Sure.
Yeah. Rick goes out in the street and continues beating Pete. Tries to choke him out. Deanna comes up, says, "Stop this, or I'll send you to the Delta Quadrant." Then Rick draws his gun, waves it around wildly, and starts screaming.
24 hours with Neelix.
You'll get kitchen duty. Rick goes insane here. Starts screaming, waving his weapon at people, and Michonne comes up and knocks him out.
Does she ever?
Yeah, it was vicious. I think it's just an elbow.
Well, see, I was wondering if she had like a blackjack or something, or it's some kind of sap or something, because
maybe.
Or the butt of a gun, but no, she wouldn't have a gun. But
she does have a gun as a constable.
No,
they let both her and Rick carry guns.
I thought when they're outside of the walls, that's the reason Rick wanted his piece.
But Rick has his piece.
But
Rick has 2 pieces now.
Well, he gets
Well, I guess he was coming back from a
That's
mission.
what I'm saying. I feel like when he goes outside the wall to patrol, they give him his gun and he gives it back. Or else, why did he want the backup piece?
Yeah, you might be right. Anyway, so yeah, I think she just cold cocks him with a vicious bow.
I did call the Goodfellas reference.
Yeah.
I even think that they decided to give him that like little black compact revolver because it looks so much like the gun in the Ray Liotta used to beat the shit out of that yuppie with the Corvette's face in. But yeah, when he says, "You touch her again, I'll kill you," it's a total Goodfellas reference.
Yeah. Also in the scene, we see Sasha. She spots the fight through her scope, and then she goes about her business killing walkers.
That seemed very odd to me too. Like, she hears the people screaming and they're running to something in the town. and Sasha's following the action with a sniper rifle. The next thing we get is her then turning her attention back to zombies, like ho hum. I think it would have been a lot more interesting if she was white knuckled, sweat popping on her forehead, on Rick's head and Pete's head, and her fingers, and then Michonne comes flying in and gives her a bow of justice.
She accidentally shoots Michonne.
No, just that would be kind of I would think whoa, now this is crazy.
Yeah. Or if Daryl and Aaron come back and Daryl gets shot at the gate.
Yeah, because she thinks he's a zombie.
Should have showered, Daryl. You should have showered.
Yep, you could have all avoided this. I don't know. That was really weird to have her notice it and then be completely uninterested in the outcome, or even because ostensibly she's up there. She's up there because she's crazy and she likes to kill walkers. But what if they were being overrun?
Yeah,
she's just fuck it.
I'm gonna stay in my tower.
I got my duty. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's interesting that we see quite a few walkers on this wall, and I don't know if it's the noise of this argument and fight attracting them, or if it's just showing us, there are a lot more walkers coming in nowadays.
Well, it could be also that maybe Sasha's
10, 15 on there.
It could be also they're trying to suggest that Sasha's activities are indirectly bringing these walkers in.
Could be.
And then Michonne goes out there with an unsilenced weapon, is raising hell. So
could be Daryl's fucking bike. That could be doing it.
No shit. No shit.
Doesn't seem very stealthy.
Loud pipe save lives, my ass, Daryl.
The other thing
Not
here,
in a zombie apocalypse, son.
The other thing here that I noticed is we see Pete backhand Jesse during this fight, and we're like, oh God, what a horrible person Pete is. And then Carl comes up and Rick basically backhands him.
Sure.
What does that try to tell us? These two men are rolling around the street, beating each other senseless. Their family members are coming up.
It's the Neanderthals from 2001, man.
Yeah.
It's complete devolution. Now,
all right, I buy that. And then one of them gets up and is crazy.
But it's also, but it's also kind of yin and yang, because I'm still sympathetic to Rick here, and Rick did not backhand Carl.
No, he doesn't.
Shoved Carl to the ground
to get him away from the conflict. Yeah.
If I was in a scuffle with some asshole that needed beat, I can imagine my son rushing in there to help, and I would probably do the same.
Sure.
Yeah, because he might get hurt otherwise.
Pete just straight backhands Jesse though.
Yeah,
because fist to the face style.
It's not it's nothing to him. So I think they're suggesting kind of, like I said, the yin and yang, the black and the white, the Hindu symbol. They're suggesting the.
Are they? Because I don't know how to reconcile that with Rick getting up and being so crazy.
But he's saying everyone stuff around that is essentially true.
But if you look at everyone's reactions around him, and especially with Michonne stepping in at the end, I don't think these people buy what he's
totally. But I think what Rick misunderestimated, if I could quote George Bush, what I think he didn't realize is how many of his people he's lost.
So he thinks
he thought
there are guys right behind him. Michonne's behind him, waiting to beat his ass.
That all he'd do is say the word, and now it's it's clear to me. So clearly, it's clear to all of my badasses that now is the time we must rise up. And no, what he did is he got beat down. So
how do you think Daryl would react in this situation? When he walks up and he sees Rick beating this guy in the street?
I think he would have tried to restrain him. Yeah,
restrain Rick.
Yeah,
just the way he restrained Daryl,
just in the reverse, when it needed to happen, No, because I think even Daryl's way on. I mean, 2 episodes ago he refused the gun that they elaborately schemed to steal, because he's completely won over by Aaron's pitch about the society.
And the spaghetti,
and the being out in the great outdoors and tracking, which he does best. I don't know. I liked it, and I thought Rick's. At the end when he's laying all this out and Deanna comes back with
it's hard not to laugh at this scene, man. He's shouting, waving a gun, covered in blood.
And he's like, we have to control who lives here. And she goes, that's never been more clear to me.
And
he's like, me? You mean me?
How could you possibly think that? Drenched in blood with a gun.
It was just great. I loved it. And also I love the fact that Deanna, even when confronted with this raving maniac with a gun, still chooses to be like completely passive aggressive about it, which kind of furthers.
What's she gonna do though, right? Until Michonne steps in, what is she gonna do?
You placate the man until he puts down the gun, and then you fucking
all right
pounce on
him.
Yes,
Rick. Okay, we'll take care of this.
Again, is she a politician who's a poker player, mind reading Beta Z, or is she just some dumbass with random words coming out of her mouth? I would like to know. Can someone tell me? Will the real Deanna please stand up?
The show has told you she is a poker player, a highly skilled people reader.
That's the thing. It's like, I feel like that we've given an overall negative vibe to this episode, which I really like it.
No, I do too. I like the episode. There's
At
a lot
least
of
I
little
cared
stuff
about everything going, and there was genuine stakes.
I like the big ideas. I don't like the little details in a lot of situations.
Yes, which has been an improvement from us not liking anything about what they're trying to do and finding execution half-ass at best. Things are getting better. This has been like,
this run has been good.
If they knock it out the park, or if they even do a solid 2-hitter next episode, I'm going to be very comfortable giving this the best 5-episode run The Walking Dead